Welcome to this episode of Ask the UMC Shorts. I'm Taylor Burton Edwards with Ask the UMC, and I'm here to answer your questions about the United Methodist Church. Today's question is one we've been asked to Ask the UMC over the years in one form or another hundreds of times. Who has voice and vote in meetings at the local church? Let me begin by defining what the terms voice and vote mean. Having vote means you have the right to vote on matters before that particular body. Having voice means that you're able to address that body. However, if you have voice only, but not vote, you are not permitted to make or second any motions before that body or speak to the body during debate on a motion unless you are requested by the chairperson to do so. To determine who has voice and vote in a particular body, there's one simple rule with three kinds of exceptions. The rule is, if the Book of Discipline places you on a committee or board or council, whether by election by the charge conference or because of another office you hold, that is ex officio, you have voice and vote on that committee. I mentioned there are three kinds of exceptions. The first are exceptions made directly by the discipline. The Book of Discipline states in paragraph 258.4 that if you are the treasurer, the financial secretary, or the business administrator of a local church, and if you are paid for this work, you have voice only, not vote, on the finance committee. This is the only exception made directly by the discipline. The second kind of exception is authorized by the discipline, but not made directly by it. The charge conference may add members to the finance committee and to the church council, as well as specify the number of members for additional committees the charge conference creates, such as a worship planning committee or an outreach committee. When the charge conference adds members or creates committees, it may also specify whether these added members have voice and vote or whether they have voice only. So, for example, if the charge conference wished to add 2 at-large members to the church council, it could specify whether those at-large members have voice only or voice and vote. If the charge conference makes no specifications, the default is those additional members have voice and vote. The third kind of exception has to do with voice. Nearly all meetings in a local church are open, with the notable exception of the Pastor-Parish Relations Committee, which is always closed. That a meeting is open means that anyone may attend as an observer and only as an observer. People who are not members of the body that is meeting do not have voice at all unless that body grants it to them. So if you wish to have voice at a meeting of a body of which you are not a member, the best way to do that is to contact its chairperson ahead of the meeting and indicate what you want to say to the body. The chairperson can then present your request to the body, and the body will decide whether and when during the meeting to grant you voice. So, one simple rule: if you're a member of a given body in your local church, you have voice and vote unless one of the three exceptions applies. And if you're not, you don't have vote, but you might be granted voice. Hope this has been helpful. If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And remember, you can always send your questions via the web or send an email to asktheumc@umc.org. And when you do, your question might appear on a future episode of Ask the UMC Shorts. Until then, may the peace of Christ be always with you.